Hello, this video is going to be a guitar update on all the guitars that I own and play in all of my videos. There's also some off screen which will come in slightly later. At some point I may end up regretting balancing thousands of pounds worth of guitars on the sofa behind me, but we'll see if they fall over or not. I made a video similar to this last year and it did really well, and so to kick off the new year I thought I would make an update of that video because only half of the guitars in that video are still here. So the first guitar, and arguably one that is now moderately famous, is the pink Strat that I built at the end of the second lockdown while everyone was stuck inside due to COVID. That video's had over 250,000 views since I uploaded it. And really amazingly, something I wasn't expecting at all, is due to the ad revenue and the success of that video, I pretty much made back all the money I spent building this guitar. So I pretty much got it for free. So thank you very much to everybody that's watched that video, that was really cool. I had no idea it was going to take off. The observant among you will probably notice that this doesn't look like it did in that video. About 6 months after I built it, I actually refinished it in the same colour in shell pink, but I did a slightly less heavy relic on it. It's still got some dings and stuff on it and some bits that are kind of worn away. There's a bit up here that's kind of worn through. The back's fairly clean as well, just a few chips and stuff. The strap is caught, oh god. I just restrung it and I restrung my 335 yesterday, so a couple of them have got new sets of strings and they sound great, which is why I decided to make this video now. So let's have a quick demo of what it sounds like. My pedal board is on the floor just out of frame. I'm running everything fairly clean. I'm using my HX Stomp as the amp and that's going straight into my audio interface, which is recording in Logic. I'm going to flick between using a Fender style amp and a Marshall in this video, so at the moment this is on the Fender setting and it sounds like this. The pickups in this guitar are Seymour Duncan vintage voice single coils, and then I've got a humbucker in the bridge. This is an SH4, also by Seymour Duncan. A few people in the last couple of days have commented on the build video of this saying I should put Texas specials and stuff in it, but I actually really like how these sound. I'm going to kick on a clean boost so it's a bit louder. Put it into position 4. It's a gorgeous sounding guitar. As you can hear, it's got lovely clean tones, and then whenever I play lead stuff on this, I tend to do the John Mayer thing of using a tube screamer and a clon going into each other. So this is what that sounds like. Is it on? Yes. Can't really see the lights from here. And just for good measure, the humbucker, I'm going to play this on the plexi. So there we go, that's the Strat. This is still pretty much my main guitar. I'd kind of flick between playing this and the 335 if I want to play humbuckers. But this gets a lot of use, I play it pretty much every day and I love it. I'm going to start putting them over here as we run out of space. I guess let's go in order of favourites and how much I play them. So next up is my 335. This is one of my newer guitars. I posted a video when I actually bought this. So if you watch lots of my videos, you'll probably know all about this anyway, and it's been in lots of videos since then. This is the most expensive guitar I own. This was a bit of a whimsical decision. This is a Gibson Custom Shop ES335 1964 reissue VOS. Very long name. Basically what that means is it's modelled after a 1964 335 and all the specs and everything are pretty much exactly the same. So it's got nylon saddles, the bridge is the same, all the electronics are vintage style. It's got the Clusen tuners and then it's got the block inlays, which is the main reason I actually bought this guitar because I wanted one that had this, and all of the stock ES335s from Gibson don't have the block inlays. They either have the trapezium ones or whatever they're called, trapezoid, or the dot ones, which is more of a vintage thing. So basically I spent about twice as much just to get the block inlays. But also tonally, the thing that makes this guitar sound pretty exceptional to me is it has Gibson custom buckers. You can only get these in custom shop guitars and they're basically Gibson's recreation of the original PAF. I think they sound great, they're super clear, they've got loads of high end and low end without being muddy. So this is what it sounds like. It's such a gorgeous guitar. This is the neck pickup. It also cleans up loads when you start rolling the volume back, and I find especially on the bridge pickup, going between 9 and 10 really gives it like a solo kick. So this is 9 for example. I put a tube screamer on for this and a bit of a boost. This is 9, and then this is going up to 10. There's like, that small adjustment just really makes something kick in. It's mostly in the high end, but it just sounds great. So that's the 335. At the moment, this is the guitar that I tend to play the most because I've been going through in a bit of an Oasis phase, as you can probably tell from all of the covers on my channel. So this has been getting a lot of use. What should we do next? Let's do my Tele. Ugh. So this is the other guitar that I built. I don't play this much on the channel. It only really comes out for very Tele specific songs, but it's an absolutely gorgeous guitar. It's the first guitar I ever built, and it was a bit of a beginner's luck thing because it just came out amazing. The neck is from Warmouth, and it's just a really comfy neck. Feels great. It's a maple neck. It's finished in nitro. It's very heavily relicked, as you can see, and the back is even worse. It's got a lot of dings and dents on it. Some of them are authentic. A lot of them are just from when I was building it. It's in Royal Metallic Purple, which is a really cool color. Fender custom shop pickups. These are the Twisted Tele set, I think. And as you can expect, they sound like a Telecaster. It's in open A at the moment because I was learning a Joe Bonamassa song earlier on it. This is his song Molly O. The bridge pickup sounds exactly like you want a Tele to sound. It's really punchy. It's got an amazing twang to it. The neck's lovely as well. I actually can't play that many things in open A, so I'm a bit stuck here. I have no idea what that was. But yes, that's the Tele. Like I said, I don't play this that much, but whenever I do, I just remember how much I love it. Gorgeous guitar. Let's get rid of this one. Next up, Les Paul time. So this is my Les Paul Standard. The story with this guitar is that I was trying to buy a Les Paul a couple of years ago. It was in the middle of COVID. Gibson basically wasn't making guitars for a bit because everyone was in super lockdown. All of the retailers were running out. I couldn't find any of them online. The waiting list was like 6 months to get new ones back in stock. I went to Denmark Street in London because it's just around the corner from where I work, and I went to 6060 Sounds to see if they had any, and this was basically the last Les Paul in the UK. So it's a 50 style Les Paul Standard. I think it's from 2020 or 2019. I don't really know how to read the serial number, so I'm just looking at that pretending I know what that means. It's in Tobacco Burst, which is my favourite colour of any Les Paul. I don't play this as much since I got the 335, but for a while this was obviously my go-to guitar for humbuckers. But I still love it. I mean, a Les Paul is a Les Paul. It just sounds fantastic. I actually recently tried aging this, and I'm going to post a video about it because I recorded the whole process. But you might be able to see when it catches the light that the finish is kind of a bit more dull than a normal Les Paul. Or certainly a new one anyway. I basically took the strings off and the bridge and stuff and wet sounded it down to quite a rough grit and then polished it back up, but not so much that it was shiny like it was brand new off the shelf like it was before. And while the strings were off, I also relicked the humbucker covers, so I just took some sandpaper to them and then used some ferric chloride, which makes them go a bit rusty. I did the same thing to the headstock, so it kind of takes a bit of the shine off of it. It's difficult to make it catch the light. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. The back, I don't know, you probably won't be able to see this either, but the back has some actual authentic buckle rash from where I've been playing it in the YouTube videos and stuff. Let me see if I can angle it to work. The light reflection's kind of in the way, but it's all sort of here. I can actually feel it on my hand. I really like that. It's nice having a guitar that actually authentically ages while you're playing it. And there's lots of dings on the side from where I've put it in the rack a bit too aggressively. All the changes I've done to this are just cosmetic. There's no upgrades or pickup swaps or anything that I've done. This is what it sounds like. Les Paul into a Marshall, the dream combo. It would be if I tuned it. Shall I risk getting demonetized? Again, amazing guitar, and I use this for loads of my Oasis covers because Noel plays a Les Paul quite a lot. We're getting through them now. Oh god, it's going to fall over. So, you won't have to be too much of a genius to guess what this guitar is. This is my heavily customized PRS Silver Sky SE. Again, the video of me refinishing this and everything is done pretty well, so thank you very much if you were one of the people that watched that. As you can see, this isn't in the stock colors. It's been refinished in Daphne Blue, and it's got some relicking. It's not too crazy, but there's a few chips and stuff here and there. It's in nitro, obviously. And then I also replaced the pickguard with a cream pickguard, and it's got Fender Vibrolux knobs on it, which are kind of quirky. When I was taking the original ones off, they were so tight that I actually snapped the pole piece on this middle tone pot. So next time I go to restring it, I will put a new one in there, but for now, it just lives on 100% all the time. Not loads of tonal options, but it's fine. I didn't really need another Strat, so I kind of just bought this out of whimsical need to be a John Mayer fanboy. But it does sound great, the pickups are quite unique, and obviously the Pink Strat has a humbucker in the bridge, so this is like a more traditional Strat style guitar, even though it's not a Strat. Let's go for the old classic. And also, as you can probably imagine, it sounds great for some Hendrixy stuff. It's a really nice guitar, especially considering it's a lot cheaper than pretty much any of my other guitars. The neck profile is really nice, they absolutely nailed that. The pickups, like I said, sound great, and obviously it looks very quirky because I've done quite a bit of stuff to it. I don't play it that much, but when I do, it gets a lot of love. The last one on screen is this guitar here. Now, if you look closely, I've taken the pickup covers off, and the pickups are covered in wax because they're potted. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that, and that'll be out of focus. Pickup covers are currently on my table over there. This is an Eastman T386. I got this about 6 months before I got my 335. And after buying this, I kind of wish I'd just gone for the Gibson in the first place, even though I couldn't afford it at the time. But this is an amazing guitar, so even though I have the 335, I didn't want to sell this because I absolutely love it. It was about £1,000, so it's still not a cheap guitar, but it's basically handmade in China, I think. It says in here. Yeah, handcrafted in Beijing, China. And whenever you think made in China, you think, okay, it's going to be a bit cheap. It's like a Far Eastern guitar, but it's absolutely amazing. In terms of finish quality and like sanding on the binding and everything, and just the overall quality of the guitar, I would go as far as to say that it came out better than my Les Paul from Gibson. I love that guitar, but there were a few things like the lacquer was slightly oversprayed on the binding on the neck, so I scraped it away with a scalpel and it was fine. But that guitar is 2.5 times as expensive as this, and this feels like a custom shop. Finished in nitro, all the hardware is Goto. The pickups it comes with are like Chinese inspired by, I can't remember the guy's name, it's like something Armitage, I think. But they actually sound really nice. I kind of thought when I'd buy it that I'd have to swap them out for something else, but I never bothered because they actually sounded really good. I really like it. So my intention and the reason the pickup covers are off is that instead of having two 335s that both have humbuckers, I'm actually going to put some P90s in this. That way it will still be unique and I'll probably end up playing it more because at the moment if I want to play a 335 I reach for the actual custom shop one, obviously. So I'm not even really going to bother playing this because it's kind of half taken apart and the strings are really old. I haven't played it for about 6 months. But I just thought I would show that. It's a really pretty guitar. It feels amazing because it's all finished in nitro and the quality of the craftsmanship and everything on this for the money is astounding. So that's this guitar. And then this is my acoustic guitar. This is my most recent purchase. I've had this for a few months now. Again, if you watch many of my videos, you probably have seen the video where I unboxed this late last year. Me getting this was largely inspired by Noel Gallagher. I really liked the look of his SJ150, but I didn't want to buy the custom shop run that was like 10 grand. So this seemed like the perfect option. It's a Gibson SJ200 Studio and it's in walnut burst. It's a really pretty guitar. It's finished in nitro. It's a Sitka spruce top, I think, and the sides are walnut. It just sounds great. So I'm going to bring in the microphone and we'll see what this sounds like. I can't actually hear what this is sounding like, so this audio quality might be terrible. Let's see. It's such a nice guitar. I had a Tele GS Mini before and I thought that sounded great. So when I got this, I was really quite blown away by how full the tone is. SJ200s are really popular among singer-songwriters. Obviously Noel Gallagher has one. Country singers play them a lot. Elvis had one. The full body just gives it loads of tone. It's got a really nice low end, but it's also really sparkly. Oh, I forgot the mic was over there now. You're not gonna be able to hear that very well. So yeah, this is the only acoustic that I have now, but I have no need for another one because this is just amazing. So there we go, that's the acoustic. And lastly, this is my bass guitar. This was in the last video, so this is nothing new. And I play this in all of my videos where I do full band covers. If anyone actually plays bass and has seen me try to play bass, it won't surprise you to know that I can't actually play the bass. But I can do stuff like this. This guitar's great. It looks like a fairly expensive Fender, but it's actually a Squire Affinity Jazz Bass. I refinished it in Fiesta Red. The neck is relict and it's also refinished in like a tinted lacquer. And I put a Fender logo on the headstock like I said in the last video, but that was just because I had a spare one. I wasn't terrified of anyone thinking I play Squire guitars. This is a really great guitar. Like I said, because I don't play bass, I didn't see the point in spending loads of money to buy a nice one. But it sounds great. I don't have any complaints about it. And especially when it's finished in nitro and it's got a bit of relicking, it's actually quite a quirky looking guitar. And with that, that is the final guitar. And that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this guitar update. I keep telling everybody I'm not going to buy anymore, but I'm sure I'll have to refresh this video again in the near future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.